Howdy, hi everybody. Uh, this is just some channel notes. It's kind of important, but maybe not. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, and it's about the channel as a whole, not just Don't Starve. There is no game playing in this video, so uh, there are two Wilson videos yet to come up. They're pre-update. I had about 3 hours of raw footage before the update went up, and because of the whole dentist thing, I haven't been able to get any of that. Didn't get any of it done the day of the update or today. But anyway, there's two videos out of those 3 hours. There's some, I think, very excellent footage in there. There's a pig with a slurper on his head. There's harvesting the igloo with the spiders. I did not linger over that. There's a lot of the cave harvesting. I pulled about 22 fireflies out of that first cave. I think I lost the footage of, I regened Wickerbottom's cave, and I also regened Wilson's #1 cave. So now I'm starting to feel like I'll live. It's been 27 and a half hours. I can't drink carbonated beverages, hot fluid, real food, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, but I am totally through with the dentist. I'll tell you the dentist story at the end of this. It has nothing to do with gaming. Once I get to that, you can either listen or not listen, as you can with anything else. So, Wickerbottom and WX footage is a lot of that's pre-update, but it really doesn't affect their worlds because, as far as I can tell, the update was just ruined stuff mostly, or cave stuff, and they're not really at that level yet. But anyway, so I'll probably be playing Wilson later this evening. Walking Dead. I talked that over with my son. He took me to the dentist and we talked videos and channels. His channel is Death Even 13. He has played The Walking Dead. I mentioned my problem with the decisions because it's not just the timing on them. I can kind of manage that, but it's the decisions themselves. There's one coming up where if you pick reason with them, it's a totally different interpretation of that in that situation than I would have made. If I'm in a violent situation with somebody and I choose to reason with them, if they like take a step forward, I'm putting them down. Reasoning does not interfere with that. However, the game interprets that totally different. But he mentioned, the game is the game. So the decisions aren't going to be what you would do in real life anyway. So you might as well just go with it and, do the best you can with it. So that was part of what was holding me up, that and this whole dentist crap thing. So hopefully The Walking Dead will be up more often. I do intend to play it until I get stuck or I finish. Uh, the kid works for an office supply store. He's a manager, but we stopped and picked up a 3 terabyte storage thing for my computer. I have a 1 terabyte and it's filling up with the 1500 plus finished videos, and it's where I keep my raw footage and my finished footage. So I've been transferring, almost a half a terabyte of information from one to the other, so I can keep all my connections in the first one for raw footage, where I record and it just automatically goes into it. But it's limited to what I've been able to do with games because of storage space. So that's pretty much taken care of. He and I talked about some games. There's some more games I want to play. Uh, I'll probably be playing Don't Starve and putting up a video every day. Terraria, uh, I don't know. I'm not going to spend 10 hours a day playing Terraria. If you really want to stay abreast of the new update and see all the new stuff, you should be watching somebody else. My intentions there are to use OP Bob occasionally to look around in worlds just for fun, and to create a new character, Bill probably, and start a new world, build the wood house, do the whole thing. But I'm not going to be in any kind of rush. I don't want the channel to just be Don't Starve and Terraria, and it's kind of devolved into that because I didn't feel good after the end of Deponia. And that, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. But the kid had some suggestions about not so much. He wanted me to. We were watching some of his videos, and there's a couple of games he's played recently that I'm really fascinated with. So hopefully there'll be some new games up, and with the new storage, I might play deep. I wish I'd played deeper into Walking Dead before I started putting them up to where I had like 5 or 6 videos to put up, so I could put up one a day or something. And so the problems I ran into early, I could have resolved before I ever started putting them online. Uh, don't starve. I'm probably going to be asking you all some questions about what you'd like me to do. The updates are pretty much over. I think this one amounts to the cave worm. And I'll definitely do the downloadable content. Wilson's World will continue indefinitely. I intend to continue with WX and Wicker Bottom, but I don't know. I've thought about mods, but I'm horrible at tech, but I'm willing to give it a try. But I'm not willing to give it a try to get like hit point bars or food values or to make the game easier. I have no desire to make the game easier. So it kind of depends on the mods and how much trouble I run into trying to do them. And that's not immediate. I'm not looking at that in the next few days for sure. Uh, I was thinking about lights out. I suggested that when I suggested I might do something, I'm kind of asking for feedback. And if nobody says anything, it's my thought that there's no interest in it. So, uh, but I'll be trying to find ways to keep Don't Starve fresh. But I think there are still new people coming into the game, and I think WX is worthwhile. I think Wicker Bottom's a unique character, and Wilson's World is just a it's become almost a part of me. So, um, all right, the rest of this is about the dentist, so you can go ahead and tune out if you don't want to hear about it. It's just that tooth, it turned out, wasn't. I'm running out of teeth. I did not take care of my teeth during my life, and I'm down to not very many. Uh, that one's on the side where I can still chew. And I assumed it was very important. It turned out, after I asked them to pull it, that it actually wasn't part of anything that meshed with anything. There's no tooth above it. And the first two dentists, the teachers, I go to a teaching school, the first two teachers said that it should just be pulled and they wanted to put an implant in. And that was just to save space. Now, I'm 60 years old. I don't know how much those teeth are going to move in the rest of my lifetime. And both of them have been filled in caps, so I don't even, I'm going to be in dentures before long. So anyway, the third one, I didn't even think about it, but he specializes in teaching root canals. And he thought mine would be an interesting problem for his students because the root forked. The tooth was almost 70% filling, and I sat in the chair for an hour and a half, and they had drilled a tiny hole and had the thing that finds the root in, and that's it. They had argued about where to put the dental dam. They had covered my nose and my throat so that I couldn't breathe, and the teachers just kept arguing back and forth about how to proceed and what to do. And I'm in agony from the arthritis. They've got an oversized dental block in my mouth because I don't understand that my mouth is slightly smaller than normal. And they're not talking to me about any of this shit. They're wandering off to have discussions while I'm sitting there with all this crap in my mouth. And after an hour and a half, they're like, well, we're going to take you with all this stuff in my mouth to go do an x-ray to see if we can find the root. And at that point, I just told him to take all this shit out of my mouth and pull the tooth. Now, when they went to pull the tooth, it was a third-year student that was doing all this. And when she went to pull that tooth, it crumbled under the pliers. So this is a tooth they were going to put a steel spine in, and cap and charged me $1,200 to fix crumbled when they tried to pull it. So anyway, she couldn't get the tooth pulled. So another hour goes by. Finally, she gets the teacher. He comes over. They had to, and like I said, you might want to sign off. This wasn't pretty. They had to cut open the socket wider. The part above crumbled, but the root part on my jawline, on the jawbone, was very, very solid. They had to cut open the socket and then use a drill to carve the root off the jawbone. So anyway, that's where I was at about 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and it's that was Tuesday, and it's 7 o'clock in the evening on Wednesday. So I can't have and it all turned out to be it didn't have f all to do with my dental hygiene. It was just one of the three teachers thought it'd be an interesting problem for his students. So I went through all that shit for nothing. But anyway, be wary of people's motivations, even when they're in the medical profession. Uh, anyway, I can't have carbonated beverages for another day, and I can't eat real food for another day, and I feel like a semi hit me, which is about twice what I normally feel. I mean, twice as bad as I normally feel. So anyway, but I'll probably be playing Wilson and Terraria later and anything else I get into. If I do start a new game beside Walking Dead, it will not interfere with Walking Dead. And I might just put it in storage until, like I said, I see if I get to like the third episode and I can't play any further, I don't want to start putting it up. So, and that's not the situation with Walking Dead. I just ran into some things I didn't realize that I'm kind of a perfectionist. I know that doesn't show in Wilson, not having his armor on and all the rest of that kind of nonsense I do, but I'm very much a perfectionist about things, and was interfering with me playing Walking Dead. So anyway, thank you all, and that's where the channel's going. Hopefully more games, and I don't know what else to tell you. I wish the downloadable content was available. So, and that was tacos on that plate there. Kept bothering me while I was doing this film. And that is a trash can. That's not like an overflowing pile of garbage in my floor. However, the clutter with the kitchen bags and the bandanas and the hats and the stuffed animals, all that's normal. And the cat. So anyway, y'all take care of yourselves. Don't trust people.